Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy What to Wear Wednesday. I apologize yesterday, guys. I was unable to hop online for Taylor Thought Tuesdays. The day just kind of got away from me. I had work, got up late, was running late to work, and even though I'm only crossing the room, I still had to get some stuff together. Then I had some technical issues, so it was just a day, and the day got away from me. So I do apologize for that. We will be back next week with Taylor Thought Tuesdays. Um, so yeah, if you have any questions about Taylor Thought Tuesdays, please feel free to leave me a comment in the comment box, and I'll be happy to um, respond here. Today is What to Wear Wednesdays, and as we are talking about the construction of your shoes, what you're standing on, I wanted to have a conversation with you just briefly about certain things that you should pay attention to when you are trying to figure out what to wear for your day. Next week we'll be talking about more about developing your wardrobe. Excuse me, make that pocket square that way. That's all right. We're gonna switch that up when we leave for the day, but that'll work for today, right now. Um, so I wanted to talk to you guys about what you're wearing and what to consider when you are wearing your shoes. First and foremost, when you start talking about your soles, again, if you're going to be handling business, I always recommend hard sole shoes just because they sound more professional. Generally speaking, they're going to look more professional. But for the sake of construction, I wanted to talk to you about what to wear in a professional setting. For Friday, when we're talking about the construction of a shoe and the anatomy of a shoe, we're going to talk about all these different aspects. But for the sake of conversation today, what you want to stay away from when it comes to your shoes is anything that is glued. Glue is the enemy, it seems like, of life when it comes to quality. And I say that meaning that glue is not going to hold up during and stand the test of times over time. It usually will work, in the beginning, but it's not going to work long term. And some shoes have to be glued. I have some Ralph Lauren slippers that were glued. Problem is that at some point they're going to start coming apart. And my Ralph Lauren's actually did, and it's happened twice, where the base and the vamp of the shoe has disconnected from the sole. And so this has happened when I'm out and I have to make a beeline home because my shoe is doing this. That's not popping. That's not cool. So it's better to have welted shoes that are going to be sewn in. That's going to give you that strong base. Again, those are more expensive, but they do create a better construction. They're usually going to have more comfort for you to walk around, for you to move around in, and it's just going to be a better overall feel for you. When it comes to your casual walking around, you may have some rubber soled shoes, which is fine. And generally, those rubber soles are going to be accompanied by soft leather. And so, actually, just jumping back really quickly to welted shoes. When you have welted shoes, generally they're going to have a more stiff leather, a more sturdy leather, and that's just to help the shoes construction and the maintenance of how it's going to stand up. And when you have harder sole shoes, it seems like it's not really a good look for you because they can be a little cumbersome, uncomfortable when you're first putting them on. But as you wear them and as your feet begin to conform to the leather, then it's always a much better feel because it's conforming to your feet. And there's a certain level of comfort that you're going to create for yourself, especially if you have to be on your feet or you're moving throughout the day. And in that space, then it's a great feeling for you when it comes to those different types of things. I would talk to you. We would be getting a little bit more into depth about like boots and things of that nature, but I'm gonna save that for next season. Not in the spring, but next fall and winter, so that we can have that conversation. We may talk about desert boots this spring, but just know in that space when we're talking about rubber soles, those tend to be uh, more affiliated with casual looks. So if you have some rubber soles on with leather and brogues and that type of style, that's cool, but that's gonna always look a little bit more casual when you're stepping out. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great way to liven up and elevate casual Friday or a day out, over the weekend for brunch when you don't want to be super formal. So that's cool. Just make sure that you're aware of that when you're stepping out to handle business. You don't want to look like the guy who doesn't know how to handle his business when you step out. So that's just one thing that you want to pay attention to. When it comes to the construction of a shoe, just know this. Until we start having conversation on next week, I believe it's going to be next week when we start talking about the communication. Know this: the more simple and the more sleek and streamlined the shoe, the more formal the shoe, the more elegant the shoe seems. Like when I first started, I thought that brogues were like the most elegant thing, things that you could wear because they were ornate and they had all this wonderful, design elements to it, and it was beautiful. But in fact, that's actually one of the more casual shoes that you can wear because of the ornateness of the design. So when we're talking about that, and we'll be talking about that in 2 weeks, I believe, 1 or 2 weeks. When we start talking about the communication of a shoe, then you start seeing like, oh, okay, I want to make sure that things are very, very straight to the point forward, and the more simple, generally speaking, the more quote unquote elegant, because it's simple. And elegance for a lot of people when it comes to communication is simple. It's not necessarily sophisticated or complex. And when you think about something that is elegant, think about like black tie. Black tie is a jacket or a tuxedo. It's a white shirt. It's a black bow tie and a white pocket square for most people. And so that's classic quote unquote elegance. Now that doesn't mean you can't switch up certain elements of that, but that's just kind of the agreed upon communication in that space. But that doesn't mean that you can't have sophisticated looks. Today is a slightly sophisticated look, and so it's still classic. It still has a level of sophistication. It's just not quote unquote elegant. And so we'll have that conversation probably coming up. So try that on, see how it fits you when it comes to what to wear. Make sure first and foremost, just to recap, because I know I was kind of all over the place, it seemed like, make sure that your soles are going to be comfortable when you are wearing when you're wearing shoes for business, and you're going to have to be on your feet all day. The reason being is because, again, you need to look cool, calm, and collected, and you need to feel comfortable when you have that right base, usually with welted shoes, and we'll talk about why in the construction space. It's because you'll have an extra layer of padding. You don't want to have anything glued because things do fall apart, and you don't want things to fall apart when you're trying to handle business, because then other things will fall apart. You want to make sure that the leather is sturdy and able to hold up through the demands of the day. And over time, as you continue to wear it, it will soften and conform to your consciousness and how you need to move forward. You also want to make sure that when you're chilling and you're casual, that the leather is a little bit more supple. It can move throughout the day and kind of ease you through the moves and the things that you need to do. And the sole of you can be a little bit more pliable, can be a little bit more fun. It can have the ability to be a little bit more sporty because you're moving throughout the day and kind of just having some fun. Those shoes will be comfortable as well. They just won't be as professional. And then lastly, when we start talking about the rubber soles with your drivers, the leather is going to be really, really soft because it's going to soften up the look and keep you sporty. But this is, even though it's a sporty look, it's not for you to be on your feet heavily, because those rubber soles tend to be thin and they tend to be light, with your drivers, your moccasins, and things of that nature. So you don't want to be on your feet a lot during that time because your feet will begin, to hurt because it's not really built for that. But if you get to chill and you want to relax, it's a casually sophisticated vibe, and that's the energy that is going to be created in your consciousness, and that's what you will construct during the day, that ease of the move that you're going to look through. So you have those things. Again, make sure that you check us out here every day. I apologize for not being here yesterday. Please forgive me. Charge to my mind, not my heart. And please leave some comments in the comment box, because question of the day is, what do you tend to wear on a day-to-day basis? And how has that been in constructing the statements that you want to say to those people around you? Love to hear your thoughts. Leave some comments, comment box. Make sure that you subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. Like, I'm here every day. Except for yesterday. Apologize. And Friday, you can definitely catch us for Style Speaks. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the shoe construction that is trending right now. And I know it's kind of odd, like, why would we cover that? But I do want you to understand how things are being created so that you understand the quality of what you're purchasing. I mean, I think that would be beneficial to you. So check that out. And then Friday will be Fly Guy Fridays. It's time to do something fly. You know what I'm saying? Talking about using that refund check to get you some nice stability, what you stand on. And then we'll be doing that Style Speaks as well. So be great today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You know what I'm saying? Go do that. Be great. And if you're not, or you didn't know, yeah, you already are great, so you don't have to try. And lastly, don't forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.